Okay, it's late and it's hot again, but I've got something different for this evening. So instead of finishing this thing off, we are going to look at another educational set thing, but this one's a bit different. So I'm going to be looking at lots of educational sets over the course of this channel. But this one's kind of like a more pre-built one, but it should be interesting. So it took me a while to get one of these because they're quite expensive. But anyway, here's one of these littleBits kits, electronics kits, electronic building blocks things. This one's secondhand, which is why it's got a little bit of sticky stuff on the top, but it's all pretty much like new on the inside. So let's just open it up. So we're doing a kind of a silly unboxing, which I was just going to throw the box on the floor. Which I don't really want to do because I want to keep everything in the box. So we just open it up and we have the manual, blah blah blah, and a whole bunch of little cool things, including a little servo, which is quite neat. And then there's a bunch of cables, little alligator clips, so that's kind of nice. And this thing here, which is the power thing, and there's even a 9-volt battery, which I wasn't aware of. I thought there wasn't one, but so I have one on this side. Hopefully. Well, we don't actually have to use that one, we just use whatever we can. And I think there's actually a whole bunch. Let's just take everything out of the box. What I was saying is there's a whole pile of 9-volt batteries next to me, so if that one's flat, because I did not add that. So there's quite a few bits. This looks interesting, and this is a little buzzer thing. This is a potentiometer, so but it says here it's labeled a i6 dimmer or something, so that's kind of interesting. This is a little servo motor, and it's got a strange little thing on it. It's a little switch actually, so you can go from swing to turn, so that's kind of interesting. And there's a couple of chips on the bottom. Are those chips? I don't know. We'll find out. So they do a lot of the work for you. So basically there's a whole bunch of electronics on the bottom of these things that's doing all the work. So might be able to work out how this works. So this is the power supply brick thing. Should we all these bricks? I think we should, because it sits on the front cover. That's like a big transistor thing. No, it's not. It's probably a voltage regulator. Right, which is actually the same kind of one that you probably get on here if you look at it. So comparing contrast, there's one there and there's one there, and it's probably the same. Where's that little magnifying glass? I had a little magnifying glass all set up so that I could use it, because I can't quite read that in this light. I don't know, something 1137. So I think it's actually the same thing as that. So there we go, that makes perfect sense. And then you've got one more thing out of the box. So I think they connect. We're going to read the instructions, we're not going to just do it straight away. So we have a bar graph. So there's just a bunch of there's a lot of things on the back for this. So that's kind of interesting. It must be how they communicate. There's a lot more than you'd think you'd need for because actually all the electronics you need for that bar graph is on the front. So you've got your LEDs and you've got some little resistors down the bottom. So those little tiny things are surface mount resistors. And then the rest of the stuff at the back must be to control everything. So that's interesting. But I'm pretty sure there's more stuff in the bottom of the box. So we've got these things. So this is actually essentially brand new. It's never been used because these haven't come out of the box. And we've got a whole bunch of bits and pieces to use to connect everything together. And there's a USB cable. I think that's actually, there is actually a microcontroller of the same kind that you get on an Arduino. Sorry, sitting on the bottom there. I don't know if you can reprogram it. We'll find that out. But I think it's mainly used to make those kind of things where you can turn random things into controllers for your computer. And there's this thing here, I don't know what that is, and there's some cardboard bits for making neat little things out of, little stands and stuff for it. And that's actually just I don't know if that actually, does that come out? Did I knock something important on the, oh, here we go, it does come out. So that's just a piece of cardboard that tells you to go get the app. So that's kind of cool. We don't need that bit for now. So I'm actually going to put things back in the box. Sorry, I thought something else might have fallen on the floor that belongs in here. We don't need this thing. So let's just quickly have an open up of the instructions and have a look through the book. It's got littleBits basics. I assume you just plug them in like this, and then we can get a bar graph. So that looks pretty straightforward. Like I can tell what they want you to do without even having the book the right way around for me. So we need this thing here, and we're going to use the proper cable. They're obviously magnetic. So we'll get that in there. Where's the 9-volt battery that came with it? It's gone. It's there. Alright. Let's not lose things, because that would be not fun. I think we should build it up first. So we'll get out the potentiometer. And so they kind of, like, it's quite clever. I like this. Because you can't put them upside down. Because if you try to put them in upside down, they just don't fit in multiple ways. Like, they don't fit because the connectors don't touch. The middle things are on the opposite side, and the magnetic field is pushing them apart. When you get them the right way around, they slot together nicely. And then that goes there. Alright, so let's just turn this on. Maybe we can we'll actually test what's coming out the other side. Oh my gosh. It's a bit harder to plug in than I thought it would be. Oh, come on. Okay. Because I don't think there's any reason why you can't use the one that comes with the little breadboards. So, part of this channel is to show ways of doing this kind of stuff without having to spend lots of money. But on the other hand, you know, these things are fun and easy to use. And so you don't, you know, if you don't want to do the other kind of stuff, it's good to have an idea about what else is out there. So here we go, and this is good for little young kids, right? They're going to, and we're going to actually how it fits on the thing. But anyway, we have to turn it on, so I'm just going to guess the lights are going to come on if everything works. The battery might be flat, so there we go. And then we can turn it down, turn the bar graph down, turn the bar graph up. This is actually going to be one of the things we're going to build, a bar graph circuit. We could actually build this exact thing with other bits and pieces. So we will go through actually doing this. So this could be good inspiration. It's like, here's the expensive way of doing it, because these things are reasonably expensive. As I think I've said, and that they're out of my price range, but I happen to get this one at a good price second hand. So, or seemingly second hand, since it hasn't actually been opened here. I feel guilty for doing it. So that's the first one done. So they just slot together. So can I work out what happens if we just slot? So these are going to be exciting because you can just slot these bits together. What if you just put them? Oh, that's kind of annoying. But it's quite cool that you can. Oh, it's fallen off. And of course, if we just take that out of the middle, it will it will be terrifying. So we won't do that. I could do that all day long. That's a lot of fun, actually. What else have we got? Oh, it's got some pictures here about how you cannot put things together. It says, with no output bit after it, the input bit has nowhere to send signals. So the input ones are the ones with the red on it, and I've got 2 red. So actually this is kind of cool. So this is going to be another thing that we're going to make. So one thing I might think about this, why this is not so cool, is it doesn't really teach you anything about how any of this works and how you could build it yourself without these kind of bits and pieces. So it's fun to get you excited about it, but maybe it isn't so fun to teach you about. Well, that did not do what I was hoping it was. Let's just take that off for a second. Alright. I was kind of hoping that it says sound trigger. Oh, I get it. Meh. I was kind of hoping it would move backwards and forwards with your speech when we're talking into it. That's another project we're going to be making, where it does have a paragraph that moves in time with your voice. But for now, we're going to just look at this. That's kind of cool. So obviously, what's going to happen, and we're going to turn it off because I'm going to have to be quiet. So if we put this on, I'm not even reading the instructions because it's kind of obvious, which is cool, right? It's like neat. This thing is going to make a buzzing sound when I make a sound. It just won't stop, will it? Because it'll be just setting itself off. So I'm going to be quiet when I turn it on. So we're ready and turning it on. Or not. Well, that didn't work. Maybe we have to read the instructions. Because once it gets going, it's not going to stop, is it? If it's sound activated, then you're not going to get very far. So we did this, we're all set for that part. That's the demo experiment done. And this is the one with the annoying sound, and that's with the thing. So that was the sensitivity, so the light comes on. So we've done all those. We're halfway through the book already. This one here is for... Ooh, this one looks exciting. So we're going to use the complicated part to... But I don't want to do that. I want to actually just see what... Oh my goodness, what are all these things for? We really do have to read the instructions. Oh, okay, so we'll just do this. So we'll take one of these set of wires. So these have not ever been used. That's cool. I got a good deal with this. Alright, take this one off, and so this is going to become... Oh, it doesn't like that. Ooh, that's quite neat. It's like, no, you can't go that way, even though you could force them in. Like, you could force them together. So the connectors match up, but, which is nice, because then you have to put it that way. So they're telling you, which means they've got that on the wrong side. So that goes on that side. And there's a little tiny X thing, so you can kind of match them up. There's a symbol on there to tell you where it goes. And then this bit goes over here. So I assume... Right, they're very... Right, and that one goes on there. So they just sort of clip on. These are that little alligator, crocodile, whatever you want to call them, clips. But these are nicer than my ones. Not surprising. So this is well made. I like it. And we are going to touch the alligator clips both together. So that's interesting. Okay. Ooh, how weird. We should investigate why it does that. Why is there these things? So we should gonna do this. Oh, we should gonna do this. Misa gonna do this. All right. All right. Let's go. So I guess what you could do was, if you're building a burglar alarm. So the theme of this thing is rule your room kit. So I'm assuming that a burglar alarm is one of the things that you want to have in here. And so you want to have it so that when you have two bits of metal, like when your door, but then you want it the other way around, right? So what we want to do is we want to get it. So can we do that? So that when they're touching, the alarm isn't on, and when they're released, the alarm goes on. So that if you have them like connected on your door, and then you take them apart, then there's an alarm. Maybe that's what the book does. Let's find out. But we can't go for too long. Let's just have a quick video. And we've got, what this is, a mode space. Oh, I think that's when you plug it into your computer. So we won't be doing the plugging it into the computer one, but there's a USB connector. Yeah. Alright, we'll take this apart. I was kind of hoping it does like they're making it. It's by the Makey people, right? So that it does that thing. The one they do this thing where you have you can attach inputs to fruit, and you can control things with fruit and other bits and pieces, which we will also try and build our own version of. Because believe it or not, that won't be that hard. What have we got in here? So it says space or click. So you can. So this is probably the same chip that is on the Arduino Leonardo, or the Arduino Nano Mini, which I can't remember which one it is. Because because they handle USB communications. I can't read what it says. Maybe it's not. Oh no, it says Mega, yeah, 3.2, whatever it is. Yeah, that sounds like the same one. So that thing is really cool. So we're going to go through using those kind of ones to communicate with your computer, and then we can emulate this and do the same kind of thing. So, but it's kind of cool making it like this. So you can switch between clicking and spacebar. So that's neat, and it's got Earth on the bottom. So that's interesting. Very interesting. Maybe it really does connect to the Earth and it really can detect. Well, we'll find out. We've done this one, we've done that one, we can't do anything else. I just want to finish up by doing something with the servo, because we're going to go through servos, but they're a little bit complicated to use. But if this thing, you know, this, I mean, this is that. What's nice about this is that it will do all the work for you. But still give you an idea about, because then you'll be like, I know what a servo is. A servo motor is different to a normal motor, which I just had sitting on the desk actually. Where did I put my little normal motor that I was playing with? Oh, I've thrown it all. Oh, it's over here. So here's my big chunky normal motor that I was playing with just yesterday, which came out of a silly toy. And it doesn't really matter which way it goes. And that one goes, when you push a button in, it does nothing exciting. I'm not going to do it. Oh, I damaged the battery. Okay. Anyway, so that's that kind of motor, but this is a different kind of motor. This is a motor that you can control what position it's pointing at. To cut to the chase, because I haven't even mentioned what it is. Be sure to align the teeth on the shaft. Right, well, let's get that out of the packet. Let's just do, maybe actually we're not going to do the whole thing because we don't have time, but we'll do, they want me, I'll have to screw it in place, won't I? Thankfully I have a screwdriver at hand. That's the bit, I won't use that, I'll use this one, because that will be more obvious. And so that just goes over the top, I hope. Right, so that slots into place. We're not going to screw it into place. It doesn't matter. No, well, they want you to do that. It's going to make this whole thing move. No, maybe we should use the big one. All right. No, that's too much work for tonight. It's too hot. I want to go to sleep. All right, we'll do that another day. And so that one goes there. And we don't have to do anything else because we just want to make it turn. So we'll just cut to the electronics part. So they've put that thing there. Board mounting. Oh, this is how you mount things on the board. We get that. We don't have to do any more. We'll come back to that later. And we're going to put this one. So that's the only problem with magnets, is they get stuck randomly at things. Oh. No, now it won't go on either side. It's upside down. There we go. So that's pretty handy. Well, we're not going to plug it in there. We're not going to plug it in there. We're not going to plug it in there. It didn't tell me how to do it. Oh wait, we're up to this bit. Great. Alright. What are we doing? Where are we up to? How's the bit about the servo? Oh, okay, the servo is mounted. Doesn't seem to tell you, it seems to jump ahead. Did we miss something? Okay, it was here somewhere. Like, they tell you this bit, and then they don't tell you how to do it. Push the servo in from the... Well, let's just guess, right? I mean, it's a green thing, right? And so, it should work like this thing. So maybe they actually fit together. I'm just hoping. And we'll put that one over there. And maybe we can just control the position of the servo. Everything's sticking to the... Why doesn't it fit anymore? What? Okay, that one goes there. That one goes there. That one goes like that. Alright, let's turn it back on. So we'll finish it up here. We'll come back and we'll make something different next time. Well, we won't do it for a while. Oh, I've knocked the camera. I hate doing that. Alright, so everything is hard. Still got lots of wires everywhere. You can't get away from that. Well, it's doing something. I don't think it was meant to do that. Oh no, it is. That's right. So you can't actually control it. Oh, you can control it. You can control the speed at which it does it. So it's actually got a thing here. It says swing, and it's set to swing, and then it's got two modes: swing and turn. So we'll switch it to turn, and you can control it. That's neat, isn't it? That's a lot of fun. And you got pretty good control, right? You got like one little degree. Oops, we don't need that one. But it's kind of cool having that on the end. So we can put them all together, and oh, or not. And that could be your volume level indicator. So look at it this way. So this is the volume level indicator. So as we turn the volume up, it's going to be starting to point up to the top. So you don't quite. I thought you'd get actually about 180 degrees out of these things, but it's not quite going that way, is it? Maybe it's only 90. Yeah, it's about 60 degrees or something. 60, 70, 80. No, it'd be like it's about 120 degrees. All right, we'll go back to swinging. What does it do when it's swinging? Does it go all the way around? No, same way. Basta. Okay, that's probably going to come out really bad on the... So we'll just put the last two things together actually. So this seems to set off a timer when we may have to adjust it. It's got a little thing here for adjusting how sensitive it is. And that's the wrong screwdriver for using it. How about this screwdriver? Oh wait, look at this. They even give you a little tiny plastic screwdriver precisely for this purpose. That's neat. So we will... No, that's still doing it. We'll go the other way. There. Okay, now it's not doing it at all. Now it's way too unsensitive. I guess you can't win, can you? There. Well, I guess it teaches you the frustration of getting this kind of stuff right. But yeah, just adjusting the sensitivity there. Kind of. Alright, it works. Anyway, we'll come back to this another day. Thanks for watching this. I hope this got your interest. I would recommend this, especially if you're just young and really starting out, or if you know someone who's young and you want to get them into electronics. It's not going to teach you, so far it doesn't look like it's going to teach you how electronics really works, but it will get you enthused, I think, by it, and get you familiar with the basic concepts. So, you know, here's a little power supply thing, here's a little microphone, here's a little servo motor, here's some little LEDs, and you're going to get interested about what all these things are. So they're not hiding everything from you. They're like, look at all that. There's like so much stuff on the bottom. And it's fun. So I think you're going to get a bit frustrated that everything's magnetized, and you get these cool things. So I'm kind of like reluctant to actually build the model that moves up and down, but it does look kind of cool on the front cover. Like, I assume that, well, they're connected to something, so you've got them connected to something. But what you really want them to do is you really want the alarm to go off. Ooh, there's lots of exciting, there's a lot more crafty things to do. Which is neat. So I'd be interested in if you can actually reprogram this. You'd think you could. You'd think maybe you could. It's got 3 little things there. Let's just do one last thing, and I just had an interest, is see what's coming. How much time have we got? We've got 3 minutes left. What kind of voltages is coming out of these things? So one of these, we really need a little potentiometer. So I'm assuming that two of them are always the same power. Oh, this is not going to work. Probably the 2 outside ones, and then the inside one changes depending on the input. So the outside ones will be a 5 volt difference, and so upside down. So there are actually 3 little dots on them. So the 2 outside ones seem to be the ones with the power supply. So as I was saying, it was a minute ago. Alright. It's kind of hard to push them in. Maybe not. Maybe it's another 2, because it was 5 volts a minute ago. Right. So they added up. So I think it's actually, whoa, hold on. What did I do? Could it really just be splitting the direct connection? Okay, that's 5 volts then, but that's because I turned it all the way to one side. And then, this is kind of pointless to do this. What's the time? We'll just finish it up there, because this is silly. It's still 5 volts. Alright, so for some reason now, the 2 outside ones are 5 volts. So I'm assuming the inside one is an analog sort of, so it will change between as you change the value. So it says 3.4 at the moment. If I turn it that way, it's probably going to say a little bit less. Not as much as I thought. Maybe it's like, is it sending some sort of digital signal? Who knows? Well, you can look that up on the internet. I'm going to go to sleep. So thanks for watching, and I hope that was interesting. And like, share, subscribe, and bye.